First quarter, guys, let's go through the story here. The poor shooting evident right off the start here, Kelly. Knicks in the first quarter go 7 of 19 from the floor, 7 makes, and they also commit 7 turnovers. So they had as many makes from the floor as turnovers, and it was all Raptors 25-16 after one.
I mean, they made mistakes. I mean, certainly they didn't get off to a good start, and that played a lot into it. But then all of a sudden you look at what Toronto did, they were able to take advantage. Mostly it was DeMar DeRozan, because in the first quarter, he was the go-to guy. Where's the offense going to come from? Bargnani? Yeah, he had 9 points, but DeMar DeRozan had 9 points as well. He makes 4 out of 5, and Toronto got something going, taking advantage of the turnovers, the Knicks mistakes, the Knicks lack of making shots, and Toronto busts out to a 25-16 lead. And you wondered whether the Knicks were going to be able to recover from that first quarter. We've seen slow starts before, but you know what? It never transpired tonight.
It's funny, the Knicks, Mike Woodson had talked about this, how they weren't switching as much, but they got caught a lot switching early on in this game, switching with DeRozan. You saw in one of the highlights there, Tyson Chandler got caught up against DeMar DeRozan and gave him too much room, got off the jump shot. When you let a guy like him get into rhythm, and they did because of spacing, that's what happens. But I think the Knicks defense got caught up in a lot of screens, started switching too much, and that's what helped the Raptors get off to a lead.
Let's get back to the game story, guys. First half, we mentioned the Knicks didn't play well, only down 3 at the half, but the game turned, Kelly, in the third quarter. Knicks outscored 31-17.
The third quarter, Kelly.
It's always the third quarter.
Here we go again. Will they ever win a third quarter?
They're consistent with that, Alan.
That's trouble. It is trouble, though. You come out of halftime, the Knicks just aren't a third-quarter team. They have only won one third quarter in their last 10 games. They've got to do better when they come out halftime. They have to figure something out. Early in the quarter, they actually did okay, but then 19-2 run for the Raptors pretty much put this game away, getting beat down the floor. Knicks weren't very good fast break in this game. Only scored 11 fast break points compared to the Raptors, who also got 11, but just too many switches, too many mismatches, and just, again, too many misses on the offensive end, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto, during that spurt, though, they got some pretty good shots. They got in the stretch where they consistently made jump shots. They didn't get jump shots. They got easy baskets underneath, passing the ball, moving the ball, you name it. It ended up 19-2, turned into 22-4. Wherever you want it to stop, it was pretty ugly there.
But so they have to figure out the third quarter. They've got to figure this thing out because it's a major problem.
All right, guys, final 12 minutes. Knicks cut it to 70-60, and they looked like maybe they would get even closer, but once they got it to within 10, it was lights out after that.
Yeah, you kind of saw some signs there that maybe gave you hope, because Toronto turned the ball over 2 or 3 straight times to start the quarter. The Knicks had opportunities. They did cut it to 10, and you thought maybe Toronto's a little disheveled here, not sure what they're going to do, but they got to that 10-point mark at 70-60, and then a big shot there by Gary Forbes at 3 really kind of turned the game around. Then they went to a couple of post-ups, and Knicks started doubling, and Toronto did a good job of finding the open man, and it went back to 12, back to 15, up to 17, and then it was pretty much all she wrote. At Toronto laid the pedal to the metal. Remember, this team blew a big lead the last time they were in Toronto, and Jeremy Lin capped it with that spectacular 3 to win the game. Toronto was not going to let that happen again tonight.